Keep better tabs on where your money is going in 2026 with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, future planning, all together in one dashboard on your laptop or your phone. Start your new year like I am on the right foot financially and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with the code DECORATING. I want to have more control over my finances in 2026. I want to know what I'm spending money on. And I want to be able to prepare for expenses and even some splurges. And I can do that with Monarch. It's so easy to get set up, no spreadsheet required. And as Anita will attest, I am not a fan of a spreadsheet. And unlike most other personal finance apps, Monarch is built to make you proactive, not just reactive. This new year, achieve your financial goals for good. Monarch is the all-in-one tool that makes proactive money management simple all year long. Use the code DECORATING at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with the code DECORATING.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Benjamin Franklin says, for every minute spent organizing, an hour is earned. Hi, everybody. I'm Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today, we are sharing our best organizing tips, and I am so excited. And drum roll, please. We have begun the big barn clean out.
Whoa. Well, there's going to be a line of antique lovers at your front driveway now. You said that.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit of everything. Yeah. So I got a lot to clean out, but
very exciting. So you're going to share tips and use your own tips. Well, I am just baffled that Ben Franklin was actually the original Marie Kondo.
Oh,
because what is with that? That man had a lot to say about a lot of different topics. I didn't know he was big on organization.
Well, I suspect he folded his underwear into little envelopes just like Marie.
I suspect you're right. I don't really want to think of Ben Franklin's underwear, but okay. Thank you for that visual.
Yes.
All right. Today we have so many wonderful organizing tips for you and strategies to have less stuff to start out with. Because like Ben said, you're saving time if you're organizing, but you're definitely saving time if you don't have a lot of stuff to organize in the first place.
Oh.
One step back, you'll even have more time.
Well, what a great truth that you're starting with, and that is it's more important to purge before you start organizing than to do that later, because there's no point in organizing something that you really shouldn't even have in your house.
Yes. So it's the catch and release, which one of our all-time listeners, a spouse or a partner told us about. That was that rings in my head all the time, catch and release. So if you enjoyed something for a while and you don't enjoy it anymore, it doesn't work with your look now, let it go. Let it go. I won't sing, but you know what I'm saying. Let it go.
I did try the approach of when we did have a bit of an argument over something that I really thought should be thrown out. I said, why not take a picture of it? And I'm not going to share what I was told.
Where that picture then should be placed.
Let's just say there was some resistance to that.
Love that. Some resistance. Well, how about this? The average American home has 10,000 to 50,000. Now, that's a big spread, but 10,000 to 50,000 items. That's a lot of items.
Wow, that is a lot.
Yes. And somebody says that Americans spend $1.2 trillion a year on stuff they don't need. Now, I don't know who the arbiter of what you need and don't need is, so I can't really tell you how accurate that is. But even if it's in the ballpark, that's a lot of money, but it's also a lot of time organizing, upkeeping things you really don't need or want.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think there's a lot to be said for, like, if there are mementos. If it's small, okay. I found my high school, tassel from when I graduated. I thought, it's small. I'm going to keep it for a while longer. But, the big things, the big book of when we went to Versailles, I'm tossing it because I don't ever look at it.
Okay.
I know. Well, yep.
You got the memory. You got it in the noggin. Yep. You don't need it on the bookshelf.
I'm not going to be looking at it. So I'm being honest with myself.
Okay. Good. Well, that's what we're here for, to be honest, not only with ourselves, but with you. So let's kick it off with a tip from Anita.
Well, you've already talked about decluttering before you start, so I'm not going to mention that one. But the next one is start small. I like to start in one part of the house, one bedroom, and then I just go a shelf at a time. I just work my way down and just kind of end up doing the whole house. But I just start at kind of what feels to be a logical starting point, and I just do a little bit at a time. And when I'm done for the day or done for the week, I just kind of remember where I stopped, and then I just pick up later where I am. So you don't have to be overwhelmed by doing your entire house. Just think of it in bite-sized pieces. Think about eating an elephant. You just do it a bite at a time. And so this can be done. So do not get overwhelmed. Do not think about the whole thing. But you'll be surprised that, before long, you'll have done the entire house.
Oh, yeah. That's the best approach. And in line with the needing to purge and needing to do that first, sometimes people feel like the first thing they should do is go buy some sort of storage containers because that feels like you're doing something. But that's only buying more stuff to bring into your house, because unless you have a plan for how you're going to use those items from the Container Store or where have you, then that is just sort of going through the motions. That is not actually getting into the organization, because you need to purge. You need to limit the number of items, and then you need to think whether you even need something to put them in, because maybe you don't have anything left, or maybe you only have a few things left, like one little tassel from, Anita's graduation cap, and you don't need to go to the Container Store for that. Right? So I know that's an extreme example, but what you end up with needing to organize might be vastly different from what you have initially. And so don't buy products and containers for what you have initially.
Well, that's true. But I do like starting with some containers once I start organizing. As we're going through things in the barn, we just pulled out maybe 7 boxes, and now we're down to maybe 3 of those boxes. And what I'm doing is the small kind of sentimental things are going in one smaller box. The baseball cards that I could not talk him out of getting rid of, they're in an even smaller box. So we're kind of putting like things with like things. The books all went in another box. So we'll be not only sorting them down, but organizing them with like things. And then we'll be, as the boxes fill up, we're going to put labels on them. So yes, and my preference would be to get rid of a lot of this stuff, but he is getting rid of a lot. So, you do have to be mindful of working with a partner. So I think, as you go, like I said, you want to organize it, label it, and get rid of as much as you can.
Yeah. And a lot of the stuff that you're mentioning right now sort of sounds like stuff that you want to keep, someone wants to keep, and you won't be touching on a daily basis. So, that's a great type of item to be put in some bin where it won't have water damage and it can be protected. And, the smaller the bin, the better. Yeah, I totally agree. You want to have some place to put the things once you start the organizing, but you want to purge first. Then decide, okay, how much stuff is there? what is going in this type of bin? What is stuff that we're going to put away on a shelf and just be happy that we have, and maybe for posterity, or we take it out at some point. But the other things that you're going to purge, then organize, that are part of your daily life, like maybe your utensil drawer or things like that, you need to really purge that down and then figure out, do I need a divider? Or where am I going to keep this? Do I want to put it in a nice crock on the countertop? Things like that. So there'll be different types of items that serve different purposes in your life that you're going to treat differently when you're organizing. And I couldn't agree more with the idea of just taking it one small step at a time. Because if you start water bugging all over your house, it's going to feel overwhelming. It's not going to feel productive, and you're not going to get that sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. You won't be able to step back and go, ooh, my closet looks so great. You know, all my shoes are in shoe bags or what have you. You're just going to feel like you pulled a lot of stuff out, and it's going to feel worse than it did before. And you might end up giving up.
Yeah, it can be very stressful in the process when you're making a mess. And as you're going along, I think you're training yourself to return items back to their designated spots. So you're going to have a spot for everything, and you're going to have like things next to like things. So any office supplies we keep in our study. So I know that it's in my pine armoire in there. It's all there. I've got bins, and they're all labeled. So when I get something out and I use it, I always put it back where it came from. And so that's something to do, is to train yourself and to have those labels and signs to remind yourself where things go when you put them up.
Yeah, and that the one touch rule, you know, if you have to take several steps to get something put away, it's unlikely that you're going to do it, right? So you have to make it simple, right? So make it easy for yourself. I have a particular cabinet in my kitchen that is, no one likes that it's got a chair in front of it, but everybody likes the chair. So it's very inconvenient. And I do find that stuff that goes in there, which is not stuff we use that much, but it's a certain set of knives or in a drawer over there. The blender is under there. We don't use those things that much. But when they do get used, guess what? They end up on the table, and they sit there until somebody called me puts them away. Right? Somebody who slides the chair out and then puts them away. And there's another great motto that Yvonne said many years ago, and I mean, honestly, it must replay in my head once or twice a week. Once you have something in your hand to put away, whether it's freshly folded laundry or whatever, just keep going. Right? Don't have a way station. Don't put it on the dining room table. Don't put it on the steps to go upstairs.
Oh, guilty.
Just go and put it. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to put this here because I'll go upstairs later on.
But you know what? I seem to be the only one that's able to see the pile on the stairs.
You have really great vision, I think.
Just X-ray vision. I can see it.
No, but isn't it true? I don't even necessarily think it's a gender thing at all. I just think there are some people that see things that need to be done and people that don't. And sometimes I wish I was a person who was in the don't category.
Yes. But then our houses would be horribly disorganized and a big mess.
Yeah, but I'm decidedly in the I see it category. And, you know, well, there comes with its own burdens and benefits.
Yes, doesn't it? These secret powers. There's such a burden. Oh, goodness. Well, what about using color also to avoid confusion? Like maybe if it's toothbrushes or something, everybody's got their own color. Yeah. Maybe if there's hooks on the wall, each person has a different color, and that's where their stuff goes. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to make it clear where things should be put up.
I like that idea, especially if you have smaller kids. But I do not subscribe to that whole color system. I know that, I mean, kudos to those women who started whatever that was called, the edit or something like that. They did really well, hit it out of the park with that whole thing because it was like a concept, right? That was the organizational system that was all the bright colors. And I think like Reese Witherspoon might have bought them. Yay for them. But I think that's kind of, like a concept, like like, oh, okay, I'm doing something because I bought all these colored containers, right? I think that you fall into the peril of what we were discussing earlier, where that feels like you're doing something, but you're not really doing organizing. And plus, I wouldn't want to have all those bright colors in my house. So,
you don't have to use ugly colors, though.
Yeah. But I'm saying if anybody was thinking in their minds of that whole system when you were saying colors, like, I don't think that's really the way to roll. The new year is a great time to refresh your bedding. Get a whole new look for 2026 with Quince. I'm adding the oversized lumbar in marigold to my bed. It's 12 by 48 inches. This is the type of pillow that we talk to you about all the time. It is such a great way to dress your bed, especially for people who don't like too many pillows to take on and off. It's one long lumbar that goes straight across and makes such an impact. And Quince has it in so many beautiful colors. Everything is designed with natural materials and timeless styles, so your home feels inviting, cozy, and quietly refined instead of overly trendy. And you're getting that Quince pricing, which is amazing. By partnering directly with ethical, trusted factories and cutting out extra markups, Quince is able to deliver lasting craftsmanship straight to your home for less than you're used to paying. Transform your space now. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
What I have a problem with is this big stack of stuff I need to file, especially since my mom moved close to us. I'm managing all of her stuff, but she gets mail every day. I mean, a massive amount. And I don't know, there's just my organization of paperwork has just doubled. So something to think about, because I know when I'm looking for a particular sheet of paper, a receipt, I'm much happier. It's much easier to find it if I have a copy on my computer, if I've saved a PDF, if it was emailed to me, rather than physically looking for paperwork in a file. So along those lines, you can use a couple of different apps to scan your receipts. There is Expensify and Zoho Expense, which offers free individual plans. And you can pay for subscriptions with those. There's also the Adobe Scan app and the Notes app on the iPhone, or Google Drive app on Android. So there's a lot of different ways to use this. And I'm not doing this yet, but I really would like to start doing this because, like I said, when I do need a receipt, I'm just so stressed because there's just so much crap in the file. It's going to take forever to find it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Zones over rooms. This works really well if you have a busy household and maybe if smaller kids or kids that are, even in high school, they're going to school, right? And you've got to get people out early in the morning and they need to have a lunch and they need to have some breakfast before they go, all the things, right? So particularly the kitchen area, you could break it up into zones rather than addressing the whole room. So like things idea is you're going to zone it out for like needs or / activities. Like, okay, this is where your lunch stuff is. Like if the kids are making their own lunches, God, that would be nice, right? That never happened to me. But if if your kids are able to do that, yay. Maybe there's not only the food stuff that they would need, but the containers or the reusable sandwich wraps or whatever you use, or little paper bags, things like that. There's a whole zone for that. And then maybe when they come home and if they get themselves a snack, there's a snack zone. So they're not having to look all over the place and to find these things. And so it's more organized by the need. And that's what that zone is.
No, that's an excellent point. And I'm thinking also about your garage, because the garage floor tends to be one of the most cluttered surfaces in your home. and it can really get out of hand. So you really need some sort of a storage system there, maybe some sturdy garage shelving, maybe a system, racks or pegboards where you can keep tools and other things, maybe a workbench with drawers, and store your ladders on the wall. When we lived in the city and we had a very small garage, we had our bikes on pulley systems up in the ceiling of the garage, and you just have to pull the cars out to get it down. But that is a great place to put it, because otherwise, where are they going to go?
Yeah, that's a spot where there's a lot of people who have that as sort of the landing zone, or there's sometimes the indoor landing zone could be a guest room, or sadly, sometimes it's people's own bedroom because they don't want to leave these extra things in a public space. So they stick it in there, and that's got its own massive amount of problems, right? If you've got piles of stuff or dusty workout equipment and all of that in your bedroom, that would be the first place I would start if that's happening in your house. And think about furniture that organizes you. If you're thinking about getting an ottoman, think about one that has storage, right? If you're thinking about getting some baskets, even just thinking, that decorative, that would be nice to have a basket. Get one with a lid on it. Then you can put some things inside of it. I have that going on in definitely a lot, almost every room. Toilet paper is in one closed basket. I have in my kitchen a tall cylindrical basket, and it has a lid on it. And in there is the backup paper towels and also a roll of the garbage bags. So that's a great place to have it on hand. And I also don't buy in bulk very much. A lot of people do that, so then you have storage issues with all that stuff. So maybe rethink that. If that works for you and you need, 100 rolls of toilet paper at one time, then have it. But if you don't, and it's just become a way that you purchase things because you go to a Costco or things like that, maybe think about only just buying what you need till the next time you're going to go to the store. You're going to go get food anyway. So maybe think about limiting what you need to organize and store, because all of that stuff, even though it's practical stuff you're going to go through, it needs a place to live until you're using it.
Now, that's a good point. And guilty as charged with all the extra paper products. But if you have a place to store it, great. If not, then you're going to have to minimize how much you buy each time. Another thing that gets out of hand for us are the appliance manuals, and you can keep them all in one folder in your file cabinet. But what I've been doing is just going online and finding the online version of it and downloading it. And that's a folder on my computer, so I can always find whatever I need. And honestly, it's just so much easier to find it and to read it on my computer. So that's something that I've been doing.
I'm finding that with smaller appliances that I've purchased in the last couple of years, they don't even have a manual. Like, I'm going through the box, like, where's the manual? So I could put it in my manual folder. And then it's like, scan the QR code, and then you can find the manual.
Right. Oh, yeah, there is a manual. It's just that's right. They don't put it with the item anymore. You just have to get it online, which is fine with me.
Yeah, right. So it kind of forces you into that. So, if you have older manuals, or go through, if you are a person who keeps your manuals, go through that periodically, because it does end up taking up space. Mm-hmm. And if it's for an appliance you no longer have, well, guess what you can do? Throw that out, right? And then other things that you think, maybe let me just see if I can get this online and I don't need to keep this anymore. Any place that you can grab some space and get rid of some things that you really don't need, that's going to be a help to you. And that's kind of low-hanging fruit in the organization business, right?
Well, but the other thing you could do with the folders is I've started doing several years ago is putting the year on them of receipts and everything, anything you need for your taxes. So then every year when you're putting in that year's folders, you get the however many years out, you get the oldest folders and toss those or shred them.
Right. 7 years normally.
Oh, yeah, 7 years, yeah. So I think that's a good way to do that. Another thing is to keep things in clear containers. It's easier to find things, or use the labels. If you have some pretty containers to leave out on your countertop in your bathroom, you could put things in there like beauty supplies, cotton balls, and then that clears out more room to go under the sink if you need to store stuff down there and you're running out of room. But they also have those systems that are like that you can stack things underneath your sink as well.
Yeah, all great ideas, because sometimes the pipes or whatnot are in the way and you have limited space under there. So you might not be able to get certain things under there or taller things. So maybe off to the side. Sometimes the pipes are not right in the middle. Off to the side, you can maybe get one of those stacking systems and you get a little bit more use of the vertical space under there. A reset basket is a great idea. Now, it comes to mind for me is like families with kids, households with kids, pets, even with pet toys and whatnot. You could have a reset basket in rooms that seem to get a little bit messy. And messy is not disorganized. Messy is just life happening, right? Stuff can be left out. I mean, if it's left out for weeks, dirty plates and whatnot, that's a whole nother issue. But we're talking about living your life in one day and your kids are playing. Obviously, everybody's going to have a different way of having their children learn to put their own items away and whatnot. But this could be for adults and kids, just a reset basket where if you don't have the time to carry it to the room that it's supposed to go into, or you just picking up quickly and you don't have time to put everything away exactly where it should be, have the reset basket. Hopefully it's a smaller size basket, right? And then you can just put the things in there, and then you could pick up the reset basket in the morning or the next time you have an opportunity, and then go around and put the things away where they're actually supposed to go. Now, that does sort of go against the grain of my keep on going, but sometimes you can't keep on going, right? Or you have littler people in your house that aren't ready to be able to keep on going and put that thing exactly where it's supposed to be, right? So you might have to help.
They've lost interest by the time
they possibly lost interest. It seems overwhelming, or you just want to. You don't want to look at stuff all over the floor, for the next several hours, and you have time in the morning to do it. You can have a reset basket and tuck it behind a chair or something like that. And everybody knows just to put the stuff in there. And when we can, we'll get it all sorted where it's supposed to go.
Another thing that I do that I heard this somewhere, and I think it's a great organizational tip, is when you take the sheets off the bed and you wash them, you fold your fitted sheet, your flat sheet, one pillowcase, put them together, and you place them inside the other pillowcase. And then you have them all stacked together. There's no looking for everything, and they're easy to find. That's something that we use in our closet, and it's very helpful.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. And I'm just thinking that you could also somehow designate with your label maker or what have you, that what bedroom that goes to. So you're not, because sometimes I'm like,
we do.
I have to unfold everything. I'm like, is this a king?
Well, right. Or you can have shelves for king and queen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. You can do that, or you can label them. I just kind of know by the pattern which one. And I put them in the closet of the bedroom that they go into. So that makes that easier.
I wish I had closets like that.
Well, we do. This house does have closets, but it's kind of based on a traditional Texas farmhouse. So the closets are really small. It was really disappointing moving here, finding I had so little closet space, but
Yeah, we all just think back to your closet, which you could have hosted people in for the weekend. That was also a recording studio. That closet was something else.
I'll include a link in the show notes to my old closet because it was big.
Oh, we're all so jelly of that closet.
Well,
how about an outbox system? And I don't mean on your computer. So this is stuff that you're going to donate. This is stuff that maybe you got to return to somebody else that you borrowed, or this is stuff that you're going to return to Amazon or wherever. I find with a lot of clients when I walk into the house, they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh gosh, what's that?" Oh, that's all going back to Amazon. Maybe you don't get to go to UPS, which is I guess where I go with my Amazon returns, for a week or so, and it's sitting there. Nobody wants to see that in their entry, right?
No.
So find a place where you can put that, maybe inside a closet if you are a person with plentiful closets. Or I have my outbox system in the back of my car. I just take it to the back of my car. So I have one of the bins, like the plastic bins, but the shorter ones, I forget how many gallons the normal size one is, but there are shorter ones. So I have that in the back of my car, which is also great for a variety of things that you might have to put in the back of your car that you might be worried about.
Did you see the new Trader Joe's boxes? The Trader Joe's finally opened up near Evie. So I went there, and these bags are hard-sided, and they go in the back of your car, and they kind of keep everything upright. You don't have to worry about the bags falling over.
Well, this is kind of what, this is what I'm also
have you seen
talking
them?
about.
Yeah, they're like a
I
foot
haven't,
tall.
but I'm going to go there this week to get some white flowers for my January decor, and I will have a look. That sounds great. So anyway, the outbox system, right? So if I have something that I'm going to take to my local thrifty or whatnot, it just walk right out to the car and put it in back there. And then when I'm driving around and I'm close by there, I'm like, oh, it's already in the car. Boop, drop it off.
Great idea. Yeah, I love that. And that part of this is just kind of thinking ahead and being prepared is part of the organization approach. So I have two last ones.
Yeah,
I'm going to close it out with get a shoe storage system. I'm going to include a link to the ones that I use. And so I'm really making use of the vertical space on the shelves in my closet. So my shoes fit there. And that really keeps them off of the floor. You don't want to be looking underneath your clothes for your shoes. You want to have them clearly in sight so you can see what you have and what your choices are. So think about storage for your shoes. And the other thing I was going to mention is putting your passwords in one book. So you're not looking for the Post-it. You're not looking for the sheet of paper. Which one is the right sheet of paper? Have a notebook for passwords. Hopefully it's a notebook that's nice looking. If you listen to our luxury episode last week, make it be a beautiful book, but have one for your passwords, and then always keep that in the same drawer so you always know where it is.
And don't tell anybody what drawer that is.
Yeah, that's true.
I put it in my planner every year. So I do that. I switch them over then to the next year's planner.
Wait a minute. Do you rewrite all your passwords?
Mm-hmm.
How can you do that? I mean, my list is like, I feel like I have 1,000 passwords.
I don't know. You have a lot more stuff to file. You have more passwords. I don't know. I mean,
how do you have?
You have a lot more dishes. I don't know. I have a very streamlined life.
What is it, like 5 passwords you have? I don't get it.
No.
You're not reusing those passwords, are you?
Oh, no. And I do change them once in a while just for the heck of it in case anybody's trying to get in there. I have maybe I guess about an 8x11 manual calendar, which is what I've always used in my life when I was an attorney, then when I wasn't an attorney anymore. And now that I'm doing all of this with you and whatnot with the clients, I have to have a place where I can write things down and cross them off. It just gives me a tremendous amount of pleasure to cross the things off my calendar. So it's like crossing off my to-do list. And in there on the first page, they always give you a few empty pages, and then I just write the passwords there, because then you find out, like, as the year went by, you don't even need the password for yada yada anymore because you don't use it.
Oh, okay.
So then I purge my passwords even. Yeah, I'm good at this organization thing. I come from organizational stock, I have to say. My mom is really good at this.
Well, my dad was. My mom's not. Are you finished? Because I have an exciting note from a listener to read.
Well, then I'm done. Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So Barbara left us a note on our website, and it says, "Hi, ladies. I have been listening to your podcast pretty much from day one and have totally enjoyed your tips, your tricks, and your insightful and lively conversations. My daughter is also passionate about creating a beautiful and cozy home. So when I recommended your podcast to her a few years ago, she also became a loyal listener, and you kept her company on her long drive to work. We often refer to something one of you has suggested, etc., by saying, 'Did you hear what Anita and Kelly said?' For the holidays this year, my daughter gave me such a fun gift: 2 fabulous books, French accents, and My Soulful Home. It was the best gift. Happy New Year. We look forward to Wednesdays." Thank you so much, Barbara. Those are the books that Kelly and I wrote. So Thank you so much, Barbara. We love hearing from you, and what a delightful, wonderful note that you sent us.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, absolutely. Made my day. Thank you, Barbara, and thank you to your daughter. And we're so glad that you're with us. We were actually gifted a few times over the holidays. Consoles were given as Christmas or holiday gifts. So we're super excited about speaking to anyone who received us as a gift or gifted themselves with us. And if you want to gift yourself with us, please do. We would love to talk to you. What's your crush?
Something Evie made over the holidays that was incredibly decadent. It was a deep dish French silk pie with hazelnut Oreo cookie crust.
Oh my goodness.
It was amazing. Now, it was a little bit healthier because we did use monk fruit for the granulated sugar and gluten-free Oreos. So it was a little healthier, and we used creme fraiche instead of whipping cream. But it was still amazingly delicious, and I kind of hoarded that for myself. There were so many dishes she made, so that was kind of in the back of the refrigerator.
Right, exactly. You organized that.
I did organize the kitchen, and if people couldn't find it, that's not my fault.
Yeah. Only you know about the decadent zone. I love it. Ooh, that's so great. So you're going to include the recipe, I suppose.
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. Well, mine is a red light panel.
Nice.
A lot of you may have heard about how red light has really great health benefits, not only for your skin, but for yourself as a whole person. I recommended this one to Anita, so she might be able to speak to it as well. It's a small tabletop panel, and I will do it for maybe sit in front of it. When I say do it, sit in front of the red light for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes after my workout. And I really feel not only is it have health benefits, but also I just find it so relaxing. You just kind of zone out. I do put the little goggles on because it's very bright light and you want to sit pretty close to it, but I can highly recommend it. It's a little self-care ritual that I started a few years ago, and I've seen great results. So I will put the link to the one that I have in the show notes.
Well, I did buy it, but I haven't used it yet. It's been a crazy few weeks, so I'm excited to start it. It's on my list to do next week, so I will let you know.
No, I totally get that. Sometimes I walk by it and I'm like, oh, I should do that right now. I'm like, no, but I have to jump in the shower because I have to go this place at this time. So try to make the time for yourself at least a couple times a week. Speaking about making time, thanks for making the time to hang out with us. We really appreciate it. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time, fabulous, fun, wow, even better than I had hoped or expected. These are just a few of the words used to describe a DTT design consult. We've been doing consults for many years, and boy, are we good at it. And people are loving the results of the advice and suggestions that we make for them. It's so easy to schedule a consult with us. Just simply go to our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com, and click consult. There you'll be led through the very simple process. And sooner than later, you, I, and Anita will be discussing your home in detail. So sign up for a consult today. Let us help you design and decorate the home that you want and deserve. Looking forward to talking to you soon.